programming lesson. We had a little bit of technical difficulty before. We are live, and what we are talking about today is the for loop. So today we're talking about the for loop, and we're going to go through the basics of how that works. So the for loop is basically you have your for variable in sequence, colon, and then you have your statements and more statements. I'm really cool. More statements. You're really cool. And then you have your else. All right, let's get into it. Let's do a for loop. So and we're gonna do some experimentation, which I really encourage you guys. That's one of the great ways to learn is to experiment. Don't just do things, one way. Think about, what would happen if I do this or that? And we're gonna do some of that. So let's go ahead and start up Python 3. Python 3. Let's go and pull it up. Boom. There you go. And now we're going to go ahead and do a for variable in sequence, and then we're going to do our colon, and then we're going to do our statements, and then when we're done, we're done. Now, of course, I did not indent. You have to remember to indent. That's why we got the error message. Now let's do an actual for loop. So we can just go ahead and say for I in, and then we can say let me see. So let's try to do a raw sequence. Let's just do A, comma, B, comma, C. I don't know. Will that work? What do you think, Nara? Is that going to work? Let's see. Let's do our colon. So that's our for I. I is our variable. And then we're going to in our sequence. So I did a sequence of a couple of letters. Now, if you guys have been following along with the lesson, you might see something that might be a little bit fishy here, because what exactly is A, B, and C? Or at least, what will the interpreter think of what I just typed in? Like, what will it interpret A, B, and C as? What should it interpret that as? Now, I may want to convey the letter A, letter B, letter C, but the way I wrote it, what am I telling the interpreter? All right, so let's go ahead and click on enter, and then we're going to indent, and we're going to say print. Let's see, and we go quotes, and we say this is space, and then we do comma, and then we do I, and then let's do enter, and we are done. Let's click on enter, and it says A is not defined. Why would it say A is not defined? Noraz, you are going to answer that question, because I know you know the answer. We are live on the Computer Programming University, and we have one of my students, Nara, is listening in. Let me see. Nara, Nara says, and I think you guys can see, I have the actually, we need to put a background behind the chat because it's kind of messy looking the way it is. Just bear with me 1 second. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. So let me see if I can. I thought I had a background on it. I don't know why it's not showing the background color. It does not show the background color, or maybe because there is no background color. Let's see. Let's do dark blue. Aha! Look at that now. Now we got the blue going on. Okay, so it's a little bit easier to see. And let's get the box out of the way here a little bit so it's not blocking. Well, what I can do is let's move it like that. That's good. And then I can perhaps get this a little bit out of the way. And now we're gonna look and see what Nara says. So Nara says, as variable, let's write a. So he's saying he thinks that we should put the A and the B and the C in quotes. Okay, let's see if that's what's going on. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna follow what he says. Maybe he knows better than I do. Let's see. Or perhaps he's actually wrong. Let's see what happens. So I'm doing the same thing, and I'm gonna put quotes, and let's see what happens. What is gonna go on? I think that's what you want me to do. Yeah, that's what he wrote. So let's go ahead and click on enter. Let's do our indentation, print, and that, and quotes, and this is, and space, and comma, and I, and boom. Now let's see what happens. To see what we did differently. Previously, we just said A, comma, B, comma, C. And now we say in quotes A, in quotes B, in quotes C, separated by commas, of course. Same syntax otherwise. And now let's type enter and see what happens. Boom! This is A, this is B, this is C. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Okay, the reason why this worked. Why would this work versus the previous example? So basically, if you guys have been following along, like clearly Naraz has, then you will remember that when you write like this, what you are telling the interpreter is that well, actually, let's take a different approach. Because remember, I said I wanted you guys to practice exploring and you know, just ask questions all the time. You know, what would happen if I do this? What, you know, really try to understand all the nuances of the Python programming language. So look at what the error says, because you're going to make mistakes when you guys are writing your programs. That's going to happen. So you'll need to not only have a good understanding of how to code, but you'll also need to have a good understanding of sort of when these error messages pop up, and they will pop up, how to interpret them, right? You want to be an interpreter as well. You're using the Python interpreter, but you're also an interpreter, and what you interpret, Python interpreter interprets your code. You interpret the error messages that it gives you. So you need to be able to understand on your own. You know, I'm not going to be here all the time for you guys. I try my best to help you guys all I can, but I can't be there all the time when you guys write your program. So instead of me, you're going to have traceback, most recent call last, file standard in, line 1 in mod, name error. So it says name error. Name A is not defined. You guys should get used to this kind of statement. It says name A is not defined. Get used to seeing that and understanding what that means. A is not defined. Now, when you hear that, you have to think about variables, right? When you set a variable, you define it previously. So it sounds like it's saying that it thinks A is a variable, but you didn't define it yet. Or A is, it doesn't have to even be a variable. A is, it sounds like it thinks that A is something other than A. A is a placeholder. A could be like a list, a tuple, a variable. A basically represents something else, but you didn't tell it what that something else is, so it's kind of like, I don't know what this is. But the bottom line is, clearly, it's not accepting it as a string, right? Because if it's a string, it's supposed to take whatever I give you, man. If I say blobbly blobbly boo boo, like, it's supposed to take that because it's a string. String can be whatever you want it to be, right? So clearly, it thinks A is special. Now, bottom line is, Naraz remembers, whenever you're doing strings, quotes, right? Not air quotes, but actual quotes on your keyboard, right? So you have to put your strings in quotes. You do not have quotes, it's going to look at it as a variable. Is it a list? It's going to try to think, you know, if absence of quotes means to the interpreter that this is something special. And if you didn't define it or tell it what this special thing is, it's going to be like, I don't know. All right, so that's it. So we got that. Now let's do some more experimentation. So let's try something else out. So now, what I'm going to do this time is I am going to okay, let's see what Nara says. I can hear now as a variable. That's right. A is a string, not a variable. That's right. So let's try something different. So let's do for I in, and by the way, I don't want to. A lot of times, a lot of these tutorials online, you know, people are repeating tutorials that other people have done, and you know, so you see certain patterns. Like a lot of people always use I for I in. Well, I don't want you guys to get in your brain, in your mind, you're like for I and you're using for I. It's for anything. It's like I said when I started the video. What I said to you guys, I said for variable in sequence colon, for variable in sequence colon. I didn't say for I, right? I didn't say for I. So don't get in your brain that it's like I has some special meaning for loops, right? I could have said for Naraz, right? Naraz, one of my top subscribers. Really appreciate the support. This channel is all about subscribers. It's all about delivering value to you guys, right? It's not about what I want. It's what you guys want. I'm here for you guys. So for NARAS, variable, right? It's a variable. So for NARAS in, and then we did ABC, and that was a problem because we need to put them in quotes for strings. So what if I do for ABC 1, 2, 3? So what if I did that? So NARAS, what do you think is going to happen? For in Python is similar to loop in Bash. Absolutely. So NARAS, will this work? I'm saying for NARAS in 1, 2, 3, ABC. Will that work? You think that's going to work? What do you guys think? Will this work? Will it blend? Will it drift? Can I do this? ABC 1, 2, 3. Will this work? Let's see. Let's click on the enter. Let's go 1, 2, 3. And let's say print. This is, and let's say, comma, NARAS. I believe that is what we named it. Yes. NARAS is a variable like I. That is right. So NARAS says this is going to work. So let's try it out. Let's see if that's true. Boom, and this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. All right. So we did not use the quotes because we're not doing strings. This time we're doing numbers. With numbers, you don't need to actually have the quotes. Now, might you see a reason why you don't want to have variables beginning with numbers? I want to let this be an opportunity for an additional lesson, a side note in this tutorial. So notice I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So notice that notice that so when we just type in a letter, it's like, what is this? Is this a variable? Is this a list? Is this something like that? It thinks it's something special, right? So we had to put it in quotes. Now, technically, I'm saying this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Isn't that kind of like a string? I mean, one's not a variable, one's not a list, one's just a character, right? Just like, as A is a character, 1's a character, right? So why can I get away with 1, 2, 3 without having the quotes, right? So reason being that the interpreter sees numbers different than it does other characters. And it is that important distinction why when you're setting your variables, we talked about this before, you do not want to have variables starting with numbers, right? You can have numbers within the variable, but you don't want to have them beginning with numbers. And there's actually another reason for that as well. But generally speaking, keep in mind that the interpreter sees numbers differently than it does letters, right? So when I'm doing numbers, I don't need to have the quotes. Now let's do another for loop. So what we can do here is we can do it. We can do a for, let's go back to our favorite variable I, or let's do Mega Noob. Let's give Mega Noob a shout out. Mega Noob, another top subscriber. Mega Noob, for Mega Noob in, and let's do a list this time. So we can do will this work? So we're gonna do a list, which we didn't previously define. We're gonna put the list right here in the brackets. Is that legal? Will that actually work? Let's see. So let's say, let's go 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and let's do house, car, What the hell just happened? Let's go again. Car. And what is going on? What is up with my interpreter? Where'd my SE go? What is going on? We have a little... That is a little bit bizarre. Let's try that again. House. Car. And what else? Money. That's what Mega Noob wants. CPU squad. So let's see. House, car, money. All right, so let's try that. Let's see what happens. Is it gonna complain? Is it gonna be like, what are you talking about? So far, so good. Let's do our indentation. 1, 2, 3. Print and go parentheses and that, and say Mega wants space, comma, and let's go. Mega Noob wants himself. Mega Noob, comma, Mega Noob. All right, so let's see what happens with this. Boom and boom. Mega wants house. Mega wants CE. Mega wants car. Mega wants money. So when I had that weird issue, I guess it house, CE. I don't know what just happened to my terminal here, but it put some obviously mumbo jumbo in there. So as you can see, that actually worked. So rather than defining a list and then calling the list, we actually created a list with the normal form, syntax, which is the in the brackets, and then your items, and then separated by the commas. That's a typical list. That's the way you normally format it. But let's try something different. Let's say dreams equals, let's make it more specific. Let's say mega dreams equals the Mega Noob's dreams, right? Mega Noob's dreams are, let's see if it's gonna do that weird thing again like it did last time. All right, Mega Noob's dreams. Ferrari. Let's see what else. He also wants to win the lottery, which is going to help him to buy the Ferrari. Look at that. It did that weird thing again. That is weird. That is funky. I wonder if it's because of the size of the font. I don't want to make the font smaller, though. Let's see what happens when I drag that out. That is bizarre. Bizarro. So let's see, Ferrari, lottery, and he wants a jet. Look at that, it ran onto the other side. Let me just keep typing as if I don't see that. I'm gonna pretend like I don't even see that, and see what happens. Boom. So let's see, Mega Dreams. Let's see what happens when I type that in. So Mega Dreams, Ferrari, lottery, jet. Okay, so it worked. It's doing some weird display things here, but it seems to have worked. So let's continue. All right, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to bring in the list that I created instead of putting the list in the actual for statement. So let's see what happens. Again, I encourage you guys. I'm doing this for a very specific reason. I want to encourage you guys to think like this when you are learning to explore. Try, tinker, try to break things. You want to practice things as much as possible, see things from as many different angles as possible while you're learning. So when you're actually developing code, you get hired, or you have an actual project you're working on professionally, you will already have a lot of experience. Like, what happens if you forget to do this or you do that. You've seen all the different types of error messages. That's going to help you to be more proficient, right? So I'm doing an experiment right now. What happens if I, create the list and I'm going to call the list with the for statement? So let's say for winning. Let's say for winning in Mega. Let's see if it'll. Oh, it did it for me. Tabbed it out. For winning in Mega Dreams, and let's do colon, and let's go boom, and let's say 1, 2, 3, and print this, that, and let's see. Mega wants space, comma. Let's see. For winning is our variable that we call it. So winning. All right. For winning in Mega Dreams. Right. So winning every time this loops is gonna take an item from Mega Dreams, the list that we created. That's what we think. We might be wrong. Let's see what happens. And enter. And enter. Mega wants Ferrari. Mega wants lottery. Mega wants jet. So that worked. So you can define your list, your tuple, whatever it is. And you can refer to it right into your for statement. Because again, we said it's for variable in sequence, right? So the sequence can be an actual sequence that you create there, numbers separated by commas, or you can have some strings in quotes separated by commas, or you can do the list format where it's like brackets and as you can see, probably unnecessary, but I would say the best way to do it, I would recommend you do it with the brackets. Even though you see that it's not necessary, it may not work, I would say do it with the brackets. Or, more likely, you're going to define your sequence somewhere else, and then you can refer to it the way we did here. Now, notice we have an extra space here. So let's do for winning in Mega Dreams. And 1, 2, 3. Let's say print this. And we can put the items in there. Actually, what did we do here? We did mega. Oh, okay, that's what it is. So we did mega wants, and then we put a space there. Let's remove the space and let's say winning. And let's do that, and there you go. Mega wants Ferrari, Mega wants lottery, Mega wants jet. So notice that it automatically puts a space in there. So we didn't need to put a space right here. Previously, we put the space there, and that just gave you an extra space, which was completely unnecessary. All right? So that is the essence of doing for loops in Python. And this has been a live training session here on the Computer Programming University. And I urge you to join our team. We're going to be doing collaborative projects. We're going to be working a lot of things together. I'm going to be working on Python for finance. I'm already working on some modules to pull real-time quotes and things like that. And we have a series of projects that we're going to be working on. And in fact, I am going to, as always, give you guys a lesson for, not a lesson, but homework. There's always homework here. We're not here just for fun. I'm trying to educate you guys, and I want you guys to pick this stuff up. And to do that, you guys need to practice, not just sit here and listen to me blabbing away. For loop, for loop, for loop, for loop, for loop. You guys got to try it. So this is today's assignment. I want you guys to use the for loop as I've shown it to you today, and I want you to create a script that will basically randomize the values. So rather than just being in sequence, like the way we did it, real simple, I want there to be randomizing of how it runs. So it's going to randomly pick from, say, a list, right? Rather than just going through it sequentially. So basically do what I did, but make it random, right? Again, not just from left to right, whatever's in the list. I want it to randomly pick from a list. So that is today's assignment. Now, I'm going to be doing another live stream shortly. I need to eat my breakfast. This is how hardcore I am, doing tutorials live. Anything can happen. My computer can crash, or I can make a mistake and make myself look like an idiot. And I haven't even eaten yet, which is bad. I should have eaten before I did the live stream, but I really wanted to get started right away. Very, very motivated, and you know, I really wanted to move on with our Python series, so I wanted to get this out of the way. So I'm gonna go have some breakfast, and then I'm going to set up another live stream. We're gonna move on. I think we're gonna do some more for loops. I might go on to while loops. I'm not sure yet, but we're definitely doing a live stream coming up pretty soon in the next 30 minutes to 40 minutes or so. This is Computer Programming University. Go ahead and click on the like button, not for me, but for YouTube. YouTube needs to know that this is a good video, right? YouTube is relying on you guys to let them know what videos are good and what videos are not good. So please go ahead and click on the like button and comment. Everyone who watches this video, write a comment. Even if you just say hi, write a comment. YouTube needs to see that you guys are engaged, you enjoy this content. You know, that's just how the platform is set up. I didn't design it that way. I think it's silly, but you know, if you could please do that, smash the like, write a comment, and if you're new, when you subscribe, click on the bell icon. We want active subscribers here because we're building a community here. I'm not just here to pump out videos and run off and like, oh, I'm gonna be famous. You know, I'm really, really engaging with you guys. One of the top subscribers, the founding members of this channel, of this community, Mega Noob, Naraz, who's listening in right now. We also have Dry Ice, and we also have MJ Shahid, and we have others that are coming in. As a matter of fact, I wanted to give a shout out to some of the latest members of the CPU squad. Hopefully you guys can see this. You guys can't even see this, can you? This thing is not even showing you the screen. I don't know why that is. Let's see. Center and center. Wow, it doesn't show you. All right, so let's source screen capture and shout out to the latest members. Here we have them right here. So that was pretty easy. That wasn't bad. The latest members of the CPU squad. Someone Curious, Rasso, always good to see you, man. Rasso just subscribed 9 hours ago. Welcome aboard. We have Powell S. We have John. We also have John Alexander. We got 2 Johns. So which is going to be the favorite John in the house? Well, we have yet to see. And then we have, of course, Mega Noob. Mega Noob looks like he was the first subscriber according to this. So, we're gonna start. I'm gonna start doing some giveaways. So Mega Noob definitely has earned a giveaway, and I think what I'm gonna start doing is whatever money the channel makes, I'm gonna give it back to you guys. I'm gonna give you guys 100% of whatever the channel makes. Now, before you get too excited, right now the channel is only making about $6, but it's gonna make a lot more in the future, and as that grows, I can give back more to you guys. I know you guys are saying, the lessons are valuable enough. That's the gift enough. But I want to do more.